Hi everybody, it's Terry Gaines. I'm going to give you some tips on creating this Springtime Foils butterfly card. It's got a beautiful butterfly on the outside. When you open up the card, the butterfly stays on the inside. Just bring those wings together and then you have them back on the front. I'm going to share some tips on putting this together. What we need to do is start out with cardstock or cardstock weight designer series paper, 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2 to get our standard card. Along the front edge, we're going to make this slot with the classic label punch. I suggest that you just rest it and let it rest flat to this side of the bottom of the punch. Put about 3/8 of an inch on one side, punch, slide the cardstock to the other side, equal spacing here, and punch, and then you have your opening. This opening needs to be large enough to put whatever die cut or punch you're bringing through, and this will be perfect for this. So our next tip is to make this image. It can be anything. It can be a heart, a butterfly, any image that you can fold and put through here. We need 3 images for this. We're going to use butterfly dies. We have this butterfly die with the gold foil. I have the multi-purpose sheet behind that, and then we have 2 of the solid butterflies. They are scored. Let me give you some tips on how to put this together. We're going to, as I mentioned, use the multi-purpose sheets. They come 6 by 12. I believe you get 10 or 12 in a package. And what I do is I cut this down to the size I want. Sometimes I leave it this large, but for the foil, I'm going to cut this to 6 by 6, and then I'm going to cut a piece of foil 6 by 6. And I found that using the Simply Scoring tool is perfect for putting this adhesive on. What you're going to do is peel off the side that has the writing, and then you have your adhesive exposed. Then what I do is I place this right in the corner. Then I can place this along that edge right in the corner, and I can get that lined up perfectly. And you want to burnish that a little bit to get that to adhere. I also find that when I run this through the Big Shot, the gold foil or the silver foil, any of our foils, and if I have lines, scarred up lines on my platform plate, they transfer to the foil. So then I will cut it down to size. I'll cut this down to the size I need and then run that through the Big Shot. I also will put a piece of wax paper right between the die and the foil. That's going to help me release that. I'll run through my Big Shot 2 or 3 times, and then what I'll get is my butterfly cut out. So I have the die, the wax paper, the gold foil, and the adhesive sheet. We have this wonderful brush that will help clean this out, but I find this is so delicate that sometimes my backing of my adhesive sheet will pop off. So what I do is I just use my paper piercer to get all of these layers started. I want that wax paper to come out with it, and then I can carefully pull all of those out. And that way my backing on my adhesive sheet stays in there. I do love this brush. It'll be perfect to clean this out. Be sure you do that over a little trash bin because these are all adhesive sticking and they'll stick wherever they land. I love this adhesive sheets. You're going to love them too. So now I also like the Simply Scoring for folding these. We need to score all of these in half. So what I'll do is just place the butterfly so the center is right on a groove, and then I will use that to help score. So we need to do that for all 3 of our images. If we're not using the multi-purpose sheet, we would use the tear and tape to adhere our images, but this actually works perfect. So once we have these folded in half, scored and folded, then what you can do is peel this backing off, and we're going to align one butterfly wing up to one of these 2 images, adhere that together. So that stays on one side, and then we're going to adhere another butterfly to this side, like so. Now we're going to open that up so we've got that split. So you've got a butterfly on each side folded and then your main image like so. So now what we're going to do is place this in the card. You're going to place this butterfly through the front to the front, and then we're going to turn this over. Couple of tips here. Hopefully you can see this white on white. My instructions on my posting will be a different color so it shows up. Placement of this, you need to make sure that the top of the butterfly is below this point and the bottom of the butterfly is below that point. And then we're going to use this tear and tape to adhere it. I go just crisscross. You can tear it. This paper piercer that I just had, you know, it's funny how they just kind of right here, out of reach. Going to use that, peel that up a little bit, and then we're going to run this straight across, kitty corner across like this, or crisscross. Okay, so we're going to peel this off. Sometimes just adding a little pressure, some heat, we'll peel that off. And you can tell I used a different color cardstock last time. It has a little bit there. Again, line this up, the center, centered here. Make sure the wings will be able to go through. We're going to move that down a little bit, and then we're going to close the card. And there you have it. It's attached. It's perfectly attached. Couple other tips. If you want to put the antennas on, it is best to put them on after you put that on. And what you want to do is we have a photopolymer stamp here, and this is a very, very light touch. You can see where you're placing that, and there you have it. And then you can put your greeting and sentiment, and then tie your bow on the edge, and there you have a simple, beautiful card with the Springtime Foils Designer Series paper. Hope you enjoyed the tips. See you soon. Bye-bye.